7 hidden signs of cataracts. One of them feels like good news. Barbara was 63, a retired accountant from Vermont. Her vision felt fine. A few months earlier, she had noticed something that genuinely pleased her. She could suddenly read the morning paper without her reading glasses for the first time in years. It was not her eyes getting better. It was the first sign that a cataract had already begun to form. According to the National Eye Institute, more than half of all Americans aged 80 and older either have cataracts or have had cataract surgery. The condition usually begins forming in your 60s, often years before vision becomes noticeably cloudy. Many of its earliest signs are easy to dismiss, misread as normal aging, or in Barbara's case, mistaken for improvement. In this video, I am going to show you 7 hidden signs that cataracts may already be developing. Some have nothing to do with blurry vision. And one of them, sign number 4, feels like good news when it is actually a warning. Stay with me. Before we get into the list, here is something worth understanding. A cataract forms when proteins in the lens of your eye begin to clump together and cloud the lens. Normally, your lens is clear, like a camera lens, so light can focus cleanly on your retina. As it clouds, light scatters instead of focusing. That scattering is behind almost every symptom on this list, and because the process is slow, the early signs are easy to miss. Sign 1. Halos around lights at night. You are driving home, and the street lights seem surrounded by glowing rings. Oncoming headlights look larger than they should, almost blooming outward. When the lens begins to cloud, light entering the eye scatters in multiple directions rather than focusing cleanly. That scattered light creates halos around sources of light. The American Academy of Ophthalmology identifies halos and glare as among the most common early cataract symptoms, often appearing during nighttime driving before any daytime problems are noticed. If driving at night has become uncomfortable or you find yourself avoiding it, that shift in behavior is worth noting. Many people limit their night driving for months before they ever connect it to their eyes. Sign 2. Colors that look faded or yellowish. The blue of your kitchen curtains looks a little duller than it used to. Whites have taken on a slightly yellow tint. You wonder if it is the lighting in the room. As a cataract develops, the lens itself begins to yellow and brown, adding a filter over everything you see and muting colors that were once vivid. According to the National Eye Institute, changes in color perception are a recognized symptom of cataract progression and can occur well before significant blurring develops. This sign is easy to overlook because it happens gradually. Your brain adapts to the shift, and you may not notice until you compare what each eye sees on its own. Sign 3. Needing more light to do things you used to do easily. You used to read comfortably with the standard lamp. Now, you bring a second lamp closer or move to sit near a window. You tell yourself it is just the book's small print. A cloudy lens allows less light through to the retina. Tasks requiring fine detail, like reading, cooking, or needlework, start to demand more light than they used to. This is one of the most common early behavioral signs of cataracts and one of the most frequently dismissed. Margaret was 68, a retired teacher from Georgia. She assumed every restaurant had gotten dimmer. It had not. A year later, her ophthalmologist found early cataracts in both eyes, likely developing for 2 or 3 years. Remember this when we get to sign 7, because the two signs are often happening at the same time. Sign 4. Your near vision suddenly seems to improve. This is the one Barbara from our opening story experienced. You have worn reading glasses for years. Then one day you can read without them. Your close-up vision feels sharper than it has in years. It feels like a gift. Doctors call this second sight, and it is a recognized early warning sign of a nuclear cataract, the most common type. As the lens hardens and increases in density, it temporarily shifts the eye toward nearsightedness, making close objects easier to see for months or even a year or two. According to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, this improvement is always short-lived. As the cataract progresses, the lens becomes more opaque, and both near and distance vision eventually decline. If you have noticed you suddenly need your reading glasses less, do not celebrate without scheduling an eye exam. It is a sign worth investigating, not enjoying. Before we continue with the last 3 signs, one quick thing. If you are finding this useful, the best way you can support this channel is hit that like button and subscribe. I read every single comment, and knowing this information is actually helping people is what motivates me to keep making these videos. Now, back to it. Sign 5. Increased sensitivity to glare in daylight. Bright sunlight that never bothered you now makes you squint immediately. Overhead lighting in stores feels harsh. You find yourself wearing sunglasses even on overcast days. This is glare sensitivity, caused by the same light scattering that produces halos at night. People often attribute it to dry eyes or age-related sensitivity and never connect it to cataracts. If your eyes feel overwhelmed by light that others around you are not struggling with, that difference is meaningful. Sign 6. Double vision or a ghost image in one eye. Robert was 71, a retired carpenter from Florida. He had started noticing the text sometimes looked slightly doubled, like the letters had a faint shadow. He assumed he needed a stronger prescription and kept putting off the appointment. What Robert was experiencing is called monocular diplopia. When a cataract creates uneven clouding, light bends at slightly different angles across the lens, causing images to appear split or shadowed. The key detail: it affects only one eye at a time. Cover one eye. If the doubling disappears, the issue is likely within that eye rather than a neurological cause. When this sign appears in one eye and is not resolved by a new prescription, cataracts should be on the list. Sign 7. Prescription glasses that stop working. You got new glasses 8 months ago. They helped for a while. Now they feel off again. Frequent prescription changes that only provide temporary relief are a recognized pattern of cataract development. As the cataract progresses, it shifts the optical properties of the lens faster than a standard prescription cycle can keep up with. According to the National Eye Institute, if your prescription keeps changing and vision is still not fully corrected, ask your eye doctor to specifically evaluate for cataracts rather than simply update the lenses. If you are simultaneously needing more light and getting frequent prescriptions that quickly stop helping, those two changes together are a meaningful pattern worth raising with your doctor. Here is what to do today. If you recognize 2 or more of these signs, make an appointment for a dilated eye exam. Many early-stage cataracts show no visible changes from the outside, and this exam is the only reliable way to detect them. For adults over 60, the American Academy of Ophthalmology recommends one every 1 to 2 years, even when you notice nothing unusual. One important point: cataracts cannot be reversed with eye drops or supplements. The only proven treatment is surgery, which removes the cloudy lens and replaces it with a clear, artificial one. Most people notice significant improvement within days of recovery. UV exposure is a known risk factor for cataract development. Wearing quality sunglasses with full UV protection outdoors is one of the most practical protective steps you can take. Research also links smoking and poorly controlled blood sugar to faster progression, so those are worth addressing if they apply to you. If this video was useful, please tap the like button and drop a comment below. Did any of these signs sound familiar? And was there one that surprised you? I read every single one. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always consult your eye doctor or healthcare provider if you notice changes in your vision. Regular dilated eye exams are the only reliable way to detect and monitor cataracts. Do not delay seeking professional evaluation based on information in this video alone.